Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Arcane Assist. We're doing something of an informal continuation of our Ghost Fleet series here. So I've got, people asked for variations. So what Ghost Fleet looks like with Terminus, what Ghost Fleet looks like with a different version of Genegra, those kind of questions. So while our initial Ghost Fleet miniseries, or Answers to Ghost Fleet miniseries, was focused really specifically on the list that I won the Southern Ontario Open and MuseonCon Masters events with. This is a slightly different version of the list that includes something that I've put considerable testing time into. I'm joined today by Evan. How's it going, Evan?
Hey, I'm doing good. Yourself?
Yeah, great. And in another bout to kind of do what you guys asked for, Evan is playing Circle. I mentioned a few times in comments on various Facebook threads and in a couple of podcasts that Circle has some excellent answers to Ghost Fleet, and this is an example of that. What did you bring today, Evan?
So today we have Baldur2. I think a favorite of the cast of this channel, at least between me and Tim.
Yeah, maybe my favorite caster in the entire Circle faction, and there's some favorites in that faction. And I think Evan's first Circle caster, is that fair to say?
Yep, it was my first caster in the game.
Yeah, so bit of a fan favorite. We love Baldur2, and I think he's a really excellent Ghost Fleet drop. I think he's got some really incredible tools. I'll go over my list really quickly. Variations from the Genegra list. I'm playing the max unit of Blackbanes. Dropped the cannon, dropped a rifle to fit that in. Because it's Terminus, the battle group changes ever so slightly. I have a Seether, and I have 2 Deathrippers. I could have upgraded one of those Deathrippers to either a Rip Jaw or to a Night Wretch, but actually I like some of the tools the Deathripper brings, so I'm playing 1 battle group point down. Naturally, I have the 3 units of Reverence. I've got the solos in Hellslinger, Pistol Wraith, and Rengrave, and I'm bringing the Battle Engine. We are playing Steamroller 2017. The scenario is Standoff. We've used the cluster method to deploy our terrain today, and we are using the new Battle Engine rules. They're no longer CID rules. They are official.
In War Room.
Very exciting.
So my list is Baldur2. He's got a battle group of the Woldwrath, Megalith, and a Woldwyrd. Woldwyrd's really good these days. We have the Battle Engine. We have the Celestial Fulcrum. We have our solos, a Gallows Grove, and 2 Blackclad Wayfarers, as well as 2 units of Sentry Stones and a unit of Shifting Stones with UA and Gallows Grove.
You may have missed it. They're impossible to see from the opening perspective on the camera here, but there are also 2 Stoneshapers, the Blackclad Stoneshapers.
Correct. They are behind the Woldwrath.
Yep.
Captain shoulder pads.
Yeah. So without further ado, we'll jump into the... sorry. It's also worth pointing out you're also playing a theme force.
Yes, the Bones of Orboros.
So you got an extra couple inches of deployment. You got a couple of free solos of that list, and then it has a theme force benefit where you get to remove appointed damage from a war beast, construct war beast before leeching or after leeching. Anyway, something like that. It gives you lots of healing, and it's a pretty incredible list with the Woldwrath specifically. Do you want to talk a little bit about why this is a good answer to Ghost Fleet?
Yes. So, a lot of people are probably asking the question, why is this not the double Woldwrath list? There's a couple of reasons for that. The new Battle Engine makes it so that this list is incredibly able to manage its fury. It brings 3 really good infantry clearing guns that work wonders once you've RFP'd a leader model, which is super easy once you've used it with Crevasse or Megalith just trampling and crevassing from 16 inches away, because you can do that.
It's also probably worth pointing out that I've mentioned before that I feel like Baldur can't cast the spell Crevasse because of his low Fury stat. The veteran leader on the Celestial Fulcrum means he's also Fury 7.
Correct.
So magic ability 7. He gets the +1 to hit. So he functionally gets to also cast Crevasse in this matchup from time to time.
And that vet leader counts towards both the Wayfarers, it counts towards the Stoneshapers if they ever end up using Stone Spray, which they probably will eventually.
It's crit knockdown. The Woldwrath can give you an extra die. Going to magic 7, that's huge.
And same with the Rock Hammer on the UA for the Stones unit.
Yeah, so lots of access to knockdown, lots of good mat fixing for that, which is something that Baldur doesn't traditionally bring a lot of. Pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of cool tools. And it's more of a generalist list than the skew nature of the double Colossal. Because a lot of things that would be good into the double colossal list aren't necessarily good into this, because this list brings a lot more guns in the form of the Fulcrum and the Woldwyrd and things like that.
And you get the double Sentry Stones and Mannikins. You've got kind of all the support for it. It's I don't know. I like it. I think it's a well-rounded version of that list. And I think it's a cool way to play the Bones of Orboros theme force, which, despite seeming really restrictive, has been a theme force with a lot more play than I ever gave it credit for.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Baldur in it, and I think he's a really natural fit. But I've also played some characters who have like a living character war beast. Like I played Tanith in Bones of Orboros, and I actually saw Kruger in Bones of Orboros, and those are really interesting because you get to bring their characters, and it sort of changes the whole dynamic of the list.
Yeah. I think that's something that just keeps coming up with themes. Things that you don't think are going to see play just tend to dig themselves up sooner or later.
Yeah, and we've mentioned this before and heard the criticism that themes have stagnated list building in the game. I think this is another rebuttal to that particular concept, that there's a lot of variety within the theme forces, and the community is only just starting to really explore that.
All right, I think that's about it for the lists and our intro, so let's get into the game.
All right, so as the Ghost Fleet player, I won the first turn. What a twist. So I deployed on the 7. Evan deployed on the 12. You can see he's got a lot of AD in his list. These are the circle and square zones in the Steamroller 2017 scenarios with the 2 objectives that are contesting them. I mean, as we've mentioned a couple times, you can score the circular zones with units. You can score the square zones with battle engines or warjacks. Anything can be scored by a warcaster. So one of the changes that was announced is that the circle zones are no longer scoreable by solos. That's a little bit of a stealth nerf to Ghost Fleet. That they have to put units in there because Ghost Fleet had a tendency to put units really far back to keep leader models alive. So I like that. I think it's probably appropriate that this list got, those kind of gentle tweaks. Terminus on the first turn, cast Malediction and charge the Woldwrath. Got as far up the board as he could. He likes to be a bit of a bully, go way, way up there. Wraith Engine did something similar. They're my 2 sources of armor debuffing in this form of Malediction and Dark Shroud, so I want to have them pretty central, effectively deployed there. I put this green unit right behind Terminus. This is the unit that only has 2 rifles. Despite being deployed fairly centrally, I wanted them to be available as sack pawns for him, keep everything going. Ran the Seether up 12. After operating the Blackbanes, kind of fanned out along the middle there. The max unit of Blackbanes are a real bully unit. Even though Evan's got quite a few magic weapons and pretty good magical attacks, I want to use them to apply some pressure, maybe light some things on fire, hit some things pretty hard, get charges in places that they don't belong, maybe turn a Gallows Grove into another Blackbane. Who knows? I got the Hellslinger Phantom far up there. Ran those arc nodes up. Just kind of thinking about those arc nodes, they may end up scoring my bottom zone here if Terminus comes out of it and goes up really aggressively. They may try to pressure Evan's zone at the top. I have them in the list mostly for annihilation play, which is something that I get a lot of mileage out of, but Evan doesn't have a ton of souls available in his list, so I'm mostly treating them as disposable modules that have a power 12 melee attack. That red zone up there is going to try to be available to score the top zone, and that's Ghost Fleet turn 1.
So at the beginning of my turn, I have a lot of maintenance. It's Worm Token on Baldur, D3 Fury on both units of Sentry Stones. The bottom unit got 3, the top unit got 2. So I'm looking to get a lot of work out of them this turn. It's good that they start so far up the board, and Tim's given me a lot that's in range, because it's hard not to. They threat 14 inches. But also, more importantly, right off the bat, I noticed that this top unit of Blackbanes, or not Blackbanes, Revenant crew, has gotten particularly close to my Gallows Grove, which means I can teleport forward, keep it in control range of Baldur before he even moves, and still have range for a crevasse from Baldur onto a rifle into a leader model. So I might be able to just RFP a leader model right off the bat, turn 1. So we're going to teleport it so that it's still in Baldur's control range, because this is basically going to determine how I play a lot of my turn. Because if I don't RFP that, I need to play a lot more cautiously with Baldur, because rifles are just going to come back, and he's going to have bigger CRAs that can do a lot of damage to me, and I don't necessarily like that. So it's also a pretty good chance of this happening, because I have Vet Leader from the Fulcrum, and I can boost a hit, so I'm 7, you're def 13, and yeah, I hit.
Because the armor buff from the Wraith Engine, you need to roll not double ones to kill that guy. You kill him, you boost hit the second model, you kill him, and you kill all three of those guys. So you RFP'd a rifle, a model from the unit, and the leader model. We've gone over it a couple of times in videos before, but I was just going to mention that when you remove from play a leader model, the rules for promotion state that when this model is destroyed, you nominate another grunt in the unit to become the leader model. Destroyed is a step that happens after the model's boxed, disabled, and removed from play. So you never get to the destroyed step. Because there's nothing in the rules that say when a model is removed from play, you promote. You don't promote another model. What that means is I put that little red bead next to just one of the grunts in the unit. He's the unit commander, but he is not specifically the leader model. So the Deathbound rule says you can return to play D3+1 in the theme force models within completely within 3 inches of the leader model. Because there's no leader model, that unit no longer has the Deathbound rule in practice, because there's nowhere I can place them. There's no spot on the table that remains within 3 inches of the leader model.
So after that, my Sentry Stone on the bottom went and sprayed to death a Pistol Wraith, because boosts are a thing. And then I spend the last Fury just because it now has stealth, so it won't get shot by Ghost Shot. And also, I get D3 more Fury next turn, so I won't be sitting on 1 necessarily.
Yeah. It's a rough first turn for Ghost Fleet. Evan's getting a lot of work done, and he's kind of the list that can get a lot of work done. Like, there's a lot of deep digging in this list, more than it looks like there is. Mm-hmm. Probably that Gallows Grove is gone. I can definitely kill those Mannikins. I may or may not be able to get access to that Sentry Stone. So, like, he's expending resources, but he's getting really favorable trades for them.
Yeah. I'm moving up the Woldwrath. Just going to take a big old boosted shot at the Seether. See what happens.
Yeah, this list has so much Fury management, it can afford to just stick boosts everywhere.
Exactly.
See, there's their defense 12 because they're so angry they lost a point of defense. So that's a hit.
Dice off 2 because it's POW 15.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
And we measure the blast.
Woldwrath's gun is not magical, so it doesn't hurt those Blackbanes, but it will kill the couple of rifles that are beside and behind it.
Does 13 damage to his 3.
Yeah, so that doesn't take out anything because he's got that big long column in the middle, but it does take out 2 of my Cortex boxes and 2 of my movement boxes and most of my hull boxes.
And I just boost damage on the Blackbanes. They die.
Pardon me, the Revenant models.
Yep, I can.
Again,
everything is a Blackbane.
Non-magical gun cannot kill Blackbanes.
Correct.
That gun is an electrical aura that stays in play, but we didn't bother marking it because there wasn't a ton that was going to be placed over there.
You may have noticed earlier I placed the 6-inch widget from my unit leader on the Shifting Stone unit. That's because I wanted to throw out a rock hammer to some Blackbanes, hopefully crit knockdown them so you don't get your toughs, and kill a couple.
Yep.
We're waiting on that. We're going to see how that goes. But first I'm doing some sprays, hopefully getting lucky and killing the Hellslinger Phantom.
The Hellslinger Phantom's got a great defensive profile next to that Wraith Engine. He gets +2 armor against ranged and magic attacks. So he's 15-15. But Evan boosts to hit him, hits exactly with an 11, boost damage, and the Hellslinger Phantom lives on 2 boxes. Thank you, Wraith Engine.
Yeah, no, he lives with just 2 boxes thanks to that armor from the engine. Just hard rolling some 10s on irrelevant Blackbanes. Kills a dude. Good stuff.
Does no damage to the Wraith Engine, which you clipped with that last spray, because the Wraith Engine is armor 20 now.
The stone itself just teleports back a bit. Wants to be a little more safe.
Yep.
And I'm kind of trying to decide where to go with the Fulcrum here. I decide I can take a pot shot at that rifle because it's going to be easier to hit than the Arc Node, and it'll bounce into the Arc Node, and maybe if I get enough bounces, it can go into the Hellslinger Phantom as well.
It's just E-Leap, so it's only going to get 1 bounce. But even then, dice -4 on an Arc Node could possibly take out something important.
Yeah.
At least put chip damage into it without you needing to deal with its defense at all. And if you kill that rifle, he can't come back, as we already established. So every point of attrition you do to that unit is really relevant.
So now I'm doing that rock hammer move I talked about earlier. You can't really see it because the Woldwrath's in the way, but I did make sure that if the leader dies, then the rest of the stone unit will be within command range of the leader Rock, who is the one with the bird on it, if you can see just above the Woldwrath there.
Yep.
Managed to hit no crit on the main Blackbane that clips 2 others.
He passed his tough check.
He passed his tough check.
And you didn't get the crit knockdown, so he didn't, he wasn't
Correct.
denied that tough check. And both of the guys that you clip with blast damage, they lived because of the +2 armor from the Wraith Engine. So
Correct.
Wraith Engine doing work. Although they would have been immune to blast damage in the pre-CID version, so I'm not sure how much of a buff that is at this moment. But yeah, they're there and they're having a good time.
So we're just continuing to move up our pieces. Fulcrum is moving. It's a hard model to move if you've ever put one on the table.
Yep. In a moment here, you'll see on camera it break.
Yep.
#Fulcrum.
Oh,
look. Dice hit the table, so the entire Fulcrum came apart.
yep.
Good talk.
It looks like this now.
Yay. Now it's 3 druids fighting over a salsa dish.
Correct.
Yep. It misses. It's only magic 6, and it doesn't have any fury to boost with yet, so it misses. Evan decides to try to throw one of the fire bombs. Fire no longer leaves a cloud in play, but it is an AoE 4, and it scatters somewhere relevant. Turns out it scatters onto 2 mannequins.
Yeah, maybe this was a mistake. I mean, I was hoping it'd scatter the other way and kill the Phantom. Instead, it scatters towards my guys and kills 2 Sentry Stones.
Yeah, I mean,
Mannikins, rather.
It
kills a mannequin and lights one on fire.
They can't all be winners. They can, however, like if you drifted exactly the opposite direction, you probably kill 4 Revenant models. So,
Wayfarer runs into the bottom zone just to contest. I feel like he's pretty safe because that Seether can't charge him, and combining rifles still needs 6s to hit.
Yeah, 6s because presumably they can't aim, which I think is probably true.
Because they're and the Seether can't go over the wall. These guys are just gonna walk up. I realize I run and then Animus, and then I realize I can't do that because that's not how the rules work. So I take away the token and just have 2 Fury. Because I also forgot that the Woldwyrd is Fury 2 this edition.
Yeah, the Woldwyrd is I mean kind of, but also kind of not. Like he's Fury 2, which means he can't, buy attacks and boost like he did in the previous edition. Trade-off though, he just has Rate of Fire 3. So significantly buffed, I'd still say.
Yeah, Woldwyrd, super legit. And then it's your turn.
Yeah, so Blackbane's apparate.
What's the plan?
Yeah, so I've got some things I have to take out here. There's a couple of pieces that I can really remove in a credible way. I want to chip away at some of those solos. I want to control the board. I want to be in a position to score really aggressively next turn. Because even though you're a more diversified version of the Baldur list that's got the tools necessary to really kind of be in 2 places, you're still Baldur, and you still are ultimately going to be weak on scenario play. So the Wraith Engine charges, kills the Gallows Grove. The Gallows Grove is a living warrior model. I turn it into a ghost. My Wraith Engine is corporeal, and I've created a Machine Wraith who has some options. I move the red unit up. The red unit gets almost all of them get completely into the zone. I really want to be in a position where if you don't contest this zone, I score on your turn. So I'm going to kill that last guy, so I've got all of the models in that unit in the zone. You don't have to be above half strength anymore. You just have to be in the zone with the unit. Every model.
Yep.
So that clears the zone. Not able to score yet, but if Evan leaves that zone uncontested, I will score on his turn. Blackbanes are going to go. They're going to get some charges. So I charge these 2 guys at the Stonekeeper, ensuring that they're both still in Rengrave's 9-inch bubble to get his +1 to hit. So they go to mat 7. I mark little green beads here to indicate that they become corporeal from charging. Everyone else in the unit just ran. And first charge attack needs a 7 to hit, misses. Second one needs a 7 to hit, hits. And he smokes him, kills him. And guess what? He has a second life as a pirate. Yar.
Yar, fiddle-dee.
Mm-hmm.
And also you killed the stick man.
Yeah, stickmen are constructs, so unfortunately he does not come back and join the crew.
However, the tree that you turned into Machine Wraith is not.
Yep, no, that tree is a friend. A friend to the CRYXians. Tree friend. He's doing his best
goes,
tree impression.
Murders more twigs.
Yeah, he charged with his face, killed the dude with his face, berserked with an arm, killed the other dude, has an extra focus and a bunch more initial attacks that are totally wasted.
More Revenants.
So I'm not going to score this zone this turn. I'm pretty sure Evan can just put the Woldwrath into it. But I'm trying to position these metals from the silver unit to at least be able to put a charge in. If the Woldwrath comes in this zone, I can run the Wraith Engine over, tow Evan's zone, and also put Dark Shroud up. That means I need Terminus to be in a position to threaten the Woldwrath. So Terminus just runs. He's camping 5, and he's got Malediction. I tow him into both zones. So if Evan chooses not to come into this zone, Terminus will score it. If Evan ends his turn and doesn't contest my zone, Terminus will also score it. So that's the kind of pseudo-dominate mechanic that exists. Rengrave runs, doesn't run. He just moves. He walks his 6, just a little bit behind Terminus. We move him so he's got a bit of a bead on this Blackclad. He takes a shot with Misery, his sweet, sweet gun, and misses 7, so 50% of the time works every time. Terminus is camping 5 and has Malediction up in a position so that when Evan comes in with that Woldwrath, Terminus is my tool that can kill the Woldwrath. So I'm hoping that he doesn't have Roots of the Earth for some reason, or he has a bit of a Fury management problem and can't put it out, or I can at least kind of jockey for position with it. The Circle Woldwrath is actually surprisingly pillow-fisted. Terminus's defense 14 can be an issue if he misses one of those attacks where he needs an 8. He doesn't knock him down right away. Eventually, when he does knock him down, he's only Fury 4, and he's only Dice +1, and I'm camping 5. So I'm pretty sure that I'm in a good spot with Terminus there. I charge the Arc Node into the stone, do a couple of points of damage. Hellslinger Phantom moves up. He takes an incendiary shot at the Woldwyrd. Time to light you on fire, Woldwyrd.
Go ahead.
Incendiary shot. He hits, rolls a 5. That's all he needs because he is Rat 8. Ghost Cane is best cane. You're on fire, and I spike the damage roll really, really nicely here, and I take out, I think, your entire body.
Yep. Just cleave out that body.
Get out of here, Woldwyrd.
Boop. As you can see.
And second shot, Grievous. Crit Grievous, should I say. But I do manage to roll the double 5s for Grievous wounds, so now his body cannot be healed. The damage does not get removed by the Theme Force benefit because Grievous says you cannot remove damage.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Body gone. And for realsies, he is corporeal, and his second attack did a couple more points, but didn't take out anything new.
So at the beginning of my turn, because Megalith is full, because he walked up Geoman's Roots of the Earth on Baldur and Animus just for funsies, Baldur takes 4 off the Woldwrath, 1 off of Megalith. Fulcrum takes 1 off the Woldwyrd, 2 off of Megalith. Serenity, 1 off the Woldwyrd, 1 off of Megalith. We're clear for Fury. 3 is on the Fulcrum, so he's fully loaded and ready to go. Baldur's at 6, and we're just good to go. He gets another Worm token, so he's back up to 1 because he cleared them last turn. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not, but basically every first turn he's just going to clear that 1, so he's good to go. And we've got 2 lines of play for this turn as far as I see it.
Okay.
Line of play 1. We clear out as many of these Blackbanes as possible. We clear out an RFP, the leader model from both units of Revenants, which is very possible with Crevasse here because Megalith can do it, Baldur can do it, and then we're good to go because like I hit a Blackbane, I go back, or I spray back through them and hit a leader model, and that RFPs him, and then I do the same thing on the bottom unit just over that wall. Alternatively, Terminus is really far up, and if I'm clearing out that many models anyway, I can probably get a beat on him with the Woldwrath and just charge. That requires a lot more work. However, it also requires me to get Hunter's Mark off. So that's what I'm going to try first in the bottom zone with that Wayfarer. And that'll determine whether or not this is the plan we actually go with.
So you place the Mannikins, you put the Fury on the right spots, you did all your maintenance phase effects that happen in the Baldur list. So now it's time for Hunter's Mark with a Blackclad. Now this Blackclad is going to be out of the Veteran Leader range. Terminus is a 14, so you need a 7.
Yep.
All right, 7's it.
Let's find out. Walks
now,
to within 10.
That would give you a free charge, although you have a free charge with Baldur anyway, right?
Correct.
Okay, so he hits.
He hits.
Hunter's Mark on Terminus, step 1. So that puts Terminus in threat range of the Woldwrath now, which was the 50-50 we started off with.
Yep.
So now I just want to talk about this plan for a second. Terminus is camping 5, and he has 20 boxes. Your dice +1. You need 8s to hit. Any way to help with that?
Yes. So, The plan is to clear out enough of these Blackbanes that we can use the stones to port Megalith forward, where Megalith will be able to cast his Animus for Undergrowth, hopefully punch 2 Blackbanes to clear more of the way for the Woldwrath, and maybe even Arc of Crevasse to clear even more models out. Now, we just did the spray from a Sentry Stone, which managed to clear out 2 models, which allows Megalith to just port into where that proxy base is, which is just barely within 5, and cast his Animus. And then he can punch 2 guys and crevasse some stuff. Now, a lot of this relies on you not making a tough check, for especially for the crevasse, because if you tough that and I don't get to make the spray from it, that's bad news for a lot of this plan.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Because, I mean, you've got incredible infantry clearing tools in the Baldur list, like way more than it looks like you do because of all the sprays and crevasse, which can dig really, really deep and find incredible spray vectors. Megalith, who gets ported up, dub once his first melee attack and doesn't kill a dude. You kill the second one.
Yep.
So that's one relevant target who doesn't die. So you have Undergrowth. So you spent 2 to Undergrowth and used your initials, forfeiting your movement after being teleported.
Correct.
So everything in that little bubble is -2 defense, and that does include Terminus, right?
It does.
Okay. So there's still 4 Blackbanes to clear to make a lane available for that Woldwrath. You still need a 6 to hit, but then if you hit, you knock me down. Okay. So it's a free charge. That's 1 attack. And then it's a second initial, and then 4 bot attacks or 3 bot attacks, depending on if you boost the charge?
Yes.
Okay. So what's the math like on that? Your dice +1. So you should roll, let's say, 12 and then 8 5 times or 8 4 times.
Sure.
Yeah, assuming you boost. So 12 goes to 7, and then I take 3 damage 4 more times. So 3 times 4 is 12, and 7 is 19. So on a perfectly average assassination run here, with no attacks other than what the Woldwrath can deliver, and boosting to hit, you'd leave me alive on 1 box.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. That's pretty close to a 50-50 assassination chance. And I think we discussed this during the game, but you're basically executing the game plan you'd want to execute anyway.
Yep.
You're RFPing some of the models that are scary. You got your crevasse off successfully. It hit these 2 guys. One of them toughed, but that's okay.
Yeah, so a lot of that just planning there was us talking about what the best crevasse angle would be, because there were a lot of good options. We chose the one that Tim managed to find, where it's a rifle targeting one of my stones and hits 4 guys, and then one of them tuft. But we cleared out a bunch. That one, that tuft, got hit by the Woldwyrd. It's auto kills.
Yeah, even with the body out.
Yeah. And then we're just taking our shots. So we killed another guy, and we've now cleared the lane for the Woldwrath.
Yeah, so that's pretty incredible. At this point, you need to roll a little tiny bit above average with the Woldwrath. But again, if you fuck up and the Woldwrath goes in there, Baldur walks up and feats.
Yep. He could even just be like, oh, you have 1 box left, I see, and you're knocked down. I guess I'll crevasse that knocked down rifle beside you and spray into you. Yep.
Yeah, and it's dice -6, but, roll a 7 there on a boost. That seems pretty plausible. If you roll well below average, this is not great though.
Yeah.
So you need to get that 50-50 to kind of swing your way a little bit.
I decided to boost just because it's the charge attack, so it's boosted damage, so I'm going to get more damage in if it hits. And that crit, or that not even crit, that just auto AoE
knockdown.
4 knockdown on the first hit is just so important.
You hit.
We hit it.
So hasn't fucked up yet. So far, so good. Free charge from the Hunter's Mark, free charge from being Baldur, whatever. Boosted to hit. You're on 1 Fury. You've got 3 bot attacks plus a second initial. Charge attack damage says that helps.
Yeah. So I roll a 15. You reduce it by 5, and I do 10 damage.
10 damage to Terminus. Good start. Second one, just a little tiny spike there, just 1 above average. Third attack,
7
1 below average, but still does 2. At this point, the chip damage is really relevant. Buys an attack, and +1 does 5 damage after reducing it. That is enough to kill Terminus, and that's the game.
Yeah. So, Baldur into Ghost Fleet is pretty good.
It is. Denegro can threaten Baldur a little bit more than Terminus can, so he has to play slightly cagier. But as you saw in this matchup, the turn he was out of threat range, on the first turn, he was aggressive with Crevasse and traded a Gallows Grove for a unit. After that, he can afford to camp a lot. The Celestial Fulcrum can reave much of his fury. I think he's got a lot of tools, especially in a list like this. I think it's a balanced list that can play into a lot of different formats and a lot of different casters. And I think it's also an excellent Ghost Fleet drop.
Yeah, I think it also helps that against something like Denegra, just you're so far up the board that she can't be as aggressive as she'd normally like to be when she gets to go first, because you're deploying your Sentry Stones 18 inches up.
Yeah, that's they threaten really far in this Steam Force. And more to the point, Baldur has a spell that gives him immunity to knockdown and +3 armor. So he's armor 20 with immunity to knockdown, and potentially he can have Megalith Geomancy that onto him and be camping 6 with that. Like, that's a very, very difficult profile to assassinate.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. We hope you enjoyed our return to Ghost Fleet. We'll probably have a couple more episodes of this just because we're going to get the ball rolling on our other series, which you will see maybe a bit of next week. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to subscribe, follow us on all the social medias, and we'll see you next Monday.